Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sam OG. I usually don't do suggestions video or a how-to or recommendations or tips and tricks. I usually don't do that because I don't consider myself being skillful in terms of role-playing games. Like I don't have lots of experience. But this time, Eunice Hammeredshitsteak is back with one video where he's asking for help. So I cannot avoid or just not respond. I mean, I have to do a response video to Hammered. So man, so Hammered is asking this. He has some issues with his pacing the narration in order to allow the players and the characters to organically resolve their arc, their narrative arc. So he has this problem of, you know, following his plan as a GM. Even if he doesn't script a lot, he has a structure he wants to follow. And so he has this problem of allowing an organic, you know, natural character progression, character fulfillment of narrative arc for the player, you know, and the characters in his games. So he feels like it's kind of forced. Every time he's taking a pause, every time he's slowing down the pacing of the events, you know, the encounters and the missions and all that. Every time he's slowing that down, it feels like it's a little bit artificial. It doesn't last long because it feels like there is a pressure. Some kind of calls that an anxiety, where it's like a pressure where we need to do something, we need to go at this to do that and all that. So there's you know, it's a classic follow the leader, follow the breadcrumbs, you know, thing where you push, the GM is pushing the player toward you know, a plot or toward an arc where there's something that needs to happen. It's also a problem of balancing the idea of a sandbox and the idea of a railroad, right? So to me, the fundamental reason why that is happening to you, Eunice, and you probably know this already, is that the games you play. So I'm giving you a play the right game advice kind of thing. Is that the game you play don't support character arc much. You know, there's probably nothing on the character sheet to support mechanically the narrative component of the character, like what he wants, what he believes in, what his value system is, what his goals and achievements he wants to reach and all that. This is probably not on the sheet, and it's probably not reinforced by the game system. So therefore what happens is that this responsibility is in the player's hand. So the player needs to do thing for his narrative fulfillment of character beliefs and values and all that, and goals and all that happen. He needs to make it happen without mechanic. And the responsibility is also on you as the GM to allow that, facilitate that, put that forward. So you end up with a lot of pressure on your hand because most of the players react to the GM. And so therefore what happens is that you have to facilitate that all the time. And so there is this pressure on your shoulder because you want to achieve things, you want to manage the session in order to have all the things that happens and follow your structure, your inner structure of 12, 13 sessions and all that. But at the same time, you need to make it organic. So you want it to be smooth, you don't want it to feel artificial. it's super hard because the game doesn't facilitate it mechanically, so it's just on the narrative. It's a narrative responsibility. So tips and tricks for that. Good God. For me, what I would do if I would play such a game, and I play games like that sometimes. It's been a while now, but I like the it. What you have to do is you have to focus more on the players' goals and beliefs and achievements and values. I mean, the characters' goals and belief in more than the plot. Probably that your mind is on your plot and your arc right now, and so therefore what happens is that the player, the characters are adjust to the story you want to tell, probably, instead of their own story, creating this environment where it's not about themselves individually, but it's more about the group and what's happening in the story. So you need to create an ecosystem. Think about it as an ecosystem, like an environment where it's the characters' individual stuff that matters instead of the overall story. You need to create that shift in your approach to storytelling. Otherwise it will never happen, because everything's going to be artificial. You're going to you're going to look at your watch, you're going to be like, okay, so the next hour, there you go, players, achieve your values and belief, and when I feel that the game is slowing down because you have no imagination anymore and nothing else is expressed, well, I'm gonna pull you back into the story. Every time you're gonna do that, it's gonna feel forced, it's gonna feel artificial, the player is gonna see it happen, they're gonna see it come in. It's not gonna be natural. I mean, if you understand what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure you understand exactly what I'm saying. When you create these moments you mentioned, like a dinner in the restaurant, and then you let the player talk, you let the character talk some character, after a while they are so used to you bringing them back that they are conditioned, and it's like a habit. They know, so they wait for your signal kind of thing, and it becomes that like the dog in the bell, ding ding ding. Okay, we go back to the story, and then their character, they go into story mode, and their character become just this avatar that is used to play the story instead of having their arc and their thing fulfilled and all that. It takes a lot of skills to be able to do both at the same time. It's really hard, and it takes the right group and the right people and all that. So if you really want it to happen, you need to shift your focus. Character first, and story becomes secondary. As long as you will strive for your arc, your plot, your prep, it will always feel forced. That's what I think. Doing that shift now, how do you do that? Starting the session with character moments instead of story moments. That will set the tone for the session. Finishing sessions on these notes as well. Maybe you need to ask the players to give you more info on their characters, so you can have these concepts, these beliefs, these values, these goals that they have it in mind when you narrate more. That's what I would that's where I would start, by keeping it simple like that, shifting that focus. This is how I would answer that, beside telling you something boring like play a game that allows it more mechanically. But if you like the games you play and you want to stick to these games, it's the focus. It's going to be a lot of pressure on the narration, and everybody needs to put their work in it. If the players are a little bit reactive and all that, it's never going to happen, because if they react all the time, they need something to be stimulated with, and so they don't make it happen. They have to, in a game like that, they have to make it happen. just like you need to provide them with what's gonna make it happen as well. So it becomes the story is about the character, not about another plot. Every time you go for a plot that is outside an arc, that is outside the character arc, it takes all the place. It takes the whole place of the narrative space. So it's really the character becomes dragged toward that instead of dragged toward their inner development. All right. So food for thought. Let me know what you think, Hammered. It was a great question, and I hope it triggered some ideas. All right. Talk to you soon.